Welcome back, Red Spotter. This is our audio commentary series. I'm your host today, Alexis J. Soto, joined by Mr. Peter Martinez and Mr. David Francisco. This is our most anticipated and hyped show for The Shining, one of the more famous horror movies of all time. This is the film directed by Stanley Kubrick from the original source material, Stephen King. First and foremost, we should say, these aerial shots are simply among the best I think anyone's ever gotten. I would assume that when this was filmed, this had to have been, via helicopter because, drones didn't exist at that point. But they certainly do capture, it is beautiful, but I think one of the things that we should not forget is, of course, how unsettling the music is. You have these beautiful frames, right? These beautiful vistas that you see, and it's following this car. You're not necessarily sure what it is that's following it, or whose point of view it is. But with the music set in, it does get you in this sense of dread, as if something bad here is on the horizon. And especially in terms of like how it follows the car, and oh god, some of this music is kind of creepy. It was really, really creepy. Like this part right here, and you're not necessarily sure like where that's necessarily coming from. But it is unsettling.
Scatman Crothers.
Scatman Crothers, yes.
Where is this filmed? Where?
I want to say, this is hard to tell. I know that the shots with the overlook from the exterior, anyway. I want to say that's Oregon.
Okay. Because I know it's a real hotel, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's based off a real hotel, so
right. Absolutely. One of the things about the hotel itself that some people don't necessarily, it's not, at the front of our discussion, right? But the hotel itself, when we see it, nothing about it makes sense. When you really just sit down and look at it, there are a lot of clues that I think Kubrick puts in there to, really get a little, to jar us. Like the composition of it, as far as how big it is, doesn't necessarily make sense with what's inside of it. I know that the office that we see, right now we're in the interview section,
mm-hmm.
the office, the manager's office, I guess, that we see, is in a weird part of the building where there shouldn't be a window. We're in the front to the middle of the building, I guess.
Yeah.
And the guy has a window behind him. No one questions it. You'll see that right now.
Do they see him
you see how he walks down.
Yeah.
You see him right now.
You can tell where everyone is, and the movement of the camera is so meticulous.
Uh-huh. And you see, here we are. Where is that window?
Yeah, that window shouldn't
to?
Be there. Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
Everything with this film is done to just make it feel so uneasy.
Yeah.
Stuart Ullman. So this is your first time watching it, right, Alexis?
Oh yeah. No. It's I don't know what officially this is the time I've seen it. I did see this film last year for the first time, and I was so obsessed with it. I did it to get myself ready for Doctor Sleep, and then we saw Doctor Sleep, and I loved it so much. And we'll be doing a commentary on that movie as well for this month's theme of ghosts that we love so much.
Which one do you like more?
That's so hard. I gotta be honest, it's so hard. I think The Shining is clearly the better movie. You can't, I think, argue that.
It's a classic.
Which do I prefer? I don't know. I don't know. I have to.
Just say Doctor Sleep.
Why? I don't like. I legitimately don't know which one I prefer. But why are you acting like it's some big secret?
Okay.
Yeah, you go.
I can't remember, but like this guy that he talks to for the job, isn't he
The manager?
Yeah, the manager. Doesn't he turn out to be like a ghost or something like that? Like he has the name of someone that was dead in the hotel. I can't remember. Stuart Ullman.
It's
I don't remember.
I don't think he personally is part of the hotel. What does he call him, Lloyd? Or is it, or the bartender ghost that we see later on is called Lloyd?
Lloyd was the he's the bartender ghost, but I think he was the previous caretaker.
I thought that was Grady.
Grady
is the one. So he tells him a story right now in this scene that we're watching, that Grady, a previous caretaker, murdered his wife and his daughters, and then killed himself. Like, so there's a couple of scenes, a couple of ghosts that he runs into. The one that he sees in the bathroom, that is Grady. That's the previous caretaker. The one that is called Lloyd, I believe, is the one that is tending to him at the bar. But what that means, I'm not so sure. I haven't read anything to suggest that this Stuart Ullman guy, it has a presence. But I mean, how can you really know? Because a lot of this is just so shredded in mystery, which is part of the appeal of this movie. And I think one of the things that is, since you asked, has the advantage over Dr. Sleep, because it leaves so much unanswered. It leaves so much, I guess, for you to kind of figure out what happened.
Yeah.
If you care to figure it out at all,
I think the main reason why this movie has just been able to survive in the forward consciousness of so many people is because they love the idea that there's always something there to discover within the film that was not previously discovered. And then of course, you've talked about how you saw that documentary about those crazy motherfuckers.
Dude, I'll tell you, if you ever take the time to see that thing, it'll freak you out how crazy. I mean, let's be real. A lot, if not most of those theories that are discussed in that documentary film are just batshit crazy. And I don't even know, David, if you're familiar with any of them, but they range, I think, in terms of like, they range in just complete lunacy. There's, I think, one of the more infamous theories that we'll get to, and I'll point that out. But one of the more infamous theories is that Shining fans have, created, is that at a certain point in the movie, Kubrick is subliminally messaging that the moon landing was a fake.
Oh, yeah, because that's one of
That's
one of the big ones, that Kubrick faked the moon landing.
That he himself, right? That's one of those like ancient like theories out there that he helped to fake the moon landing, and this was his way of like saying, I was a part of it. That's what some of the theories say, which is,
It's funny how conspiracy theorists think like, I don't know, National Treasure is how the world really works, where like shit never gets leaked, no one ever just directly comes out and reveals shit, everyone just leaves codes. Like, if you were to watch The Shining in its original print, you'll be able to see codes somewhere that will lead to the evidence of the fake moon landing.
It's insane. And I think I'll explain it more when we get to that particular scene. But one of the other commentaries, and I think that perhaps there is some kind of there to maybe you can say on the down low, Kubrick was alluding to something, maybe, but it wasn't necessarily a focus of the movie, was this, the fact that this, well, I'm not sure if it ever is established, or maybe people have just suspected that this hotel was built on an ancient Indian burial ground.
Everything happened on an ancient Indian burial ground.
Well, because you look at the theming of the hotel, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty in your face about, like...
Well, I think in the book, it's explicit that it was on an ancient Indian burial ground. I think that's where it comes from. But I think one of the things is that, like, Kubrick used that to explore larger themes concerning, I don't know, Native Americans and the violence of Americans and, you know, all that jazz. That's one of the theories I've heard.
It's possible.
And, like, there's imagery in here to convey that.
Well, like this blood, for example.
How did they do this shot? Was this a miniature?
No, I don't think it was.
You think
the cameraman
had a
go ahead
fucking 500 gallons of Kool-Aid right there?
I don't know, man. I the commentary that I was listening for, that particular cameraman was not there for this part, so he wasn't sure how.
Okay. There's got to be
but
I don't know.
There's got to be something. But it's I think there are a lot of amazing shots in this movie that are kind of legendary and the ones that stick out, but that's definitely one of those. And I mean, part of that theory we're talking about is that that's the literal blood of Native Americans spilled by America.
Yeah.
You know.
There you go.
No, they'll take
See,
anything.
You're not
man.
so clever, Kubrick. We figured it out. Dumbass.
I'm more wondering how stressful that scene was. If it's like nobody fuck up in this scene.
Oh my god. Well, Kubrick kind of was. I mean, yeah, a lot of, and we'll get to the whole Shelley Long thing. For the infamous stories, we know that he, you know, abused her to, for what he claims would have been a better performance. But Kubrick was very hard on his actors in terms of like putting them through the ringer, like in terms of how many takes he would have them do of a scene, right? So the one scene coming up where Halloran, played by Scatman Crothers, the other person in this movie that has The Shining, I don't know what his job was at the hotel. I guess he was a chef or something. He was the cook and he was showing them around. And then he has a conversation with Danny. And Scatman Crothers, I think, almost literally cried because of how many times Kubrick would ask them to do it again.
Oh, yeah. He was notorious for that because he wouldn't tell them what they were doing wrong. He would just... or how he wanted it. He would just keep asking them to do it and do it and do it and do it and do it. Yeah, I mean, I'll say it. Stanley Kubrick was a real piece of shit. He might have actually been like a little mentally impaired, so to speak. Maybe something
Unhinged?
like Asperger's or something. I don't know. Because when he went to go to England to film Barry Lyndon, he left instructions on how to take care of his dogs that was like 36 pages. Like, ridiculous. Like, the guy was a little off, so to speak. But that doesn't excuse him for being an abusive piece of shit to
Oh yeah, for sure.
to the
And it
people he
wasn't
worked
just
with.
Shelley Long. I think
Yeah.
we're beginning to figure out. Like one of the things I picked up while listening to the audio of it, later on in the film, where Wendy picks up the stack of papers that say "all work and no play make Jack a dull boy," and how all those pages have like they're in different like formatting. Someone literally had to type all those pages. I think it was he made his secretary do it. It took her like 6 months.
6 months. Holy shit.
What the hell?
Oh my god. I wonder if they kept that stack of paper.
I mean, fuck, 6 months.
I would have kept at least one of the papers for myself. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just frame my experience doing it.
She frames it. It's like, I spent 6 months on this, and they threw out the rest.
Oh,
Hi,
my
I'm Shelley
goodness.
Long.
One thing I heard though, when I think it was this one, as soon as they were done for the day, everyone like rushed out of the set because Kubrick would go like 10 miles below the speed limit, and it would just like if you're behind him, you're not getting home. Basically,
He was
Wow.
different.
yeah.
He was
I-
it seemed like he was kind of a menace if you think about it.
Oh my god. I can't remember which film it was for. I don't think it might have been for Barry Lyndon as well. But I guess when they were scouting the area for like places to shoot, he was driving the car. And as he was like looking out and pointing and discussing like, oh yeah, we can do this, he like accidentally drove into a ditch and like flipped the car. And he literally just got out and continued walking towards the place and talking like nothing had happened, about how like, oh yeah, like we can do this with this area. And it's like one of the actors was talking about it, and he's like, yeah, like I don't know. He was something else. But back then, could, as long as you were a genius,
you could do all those things. Nah, yeah, it wouldn't be a big thing. One other story I heard about Kubrick on the filming of 2001, it was toward the end of it. The opening of 2001, those like big aerial shots as well, they were some of the last things that they did. And they had to be obviously captured via helicopter. Only, and I guess this also means like these shots that we see here as well, Kubrick was terrified of being in a helicopter. So what he would have to do is basically be on radio. He was back at a facility or something, and he was like contacting the helicopter people who were having the camera. And Kubrick was so terrified of like being in that thing, so he had a full on like graph of the landscape of that area.
Oh my god.
And on radio, he would be like, okay, go A-B, A2, shoot that. Literally.
That's
Some of these-
crazy. He was definitely detail oriented.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
See, I would do this too. I would just be like, yeah, they ate people. I would do that. What are you gonna do? Lie to him? He saw it on
He saw
TV.
it on TV. What the fuck was he watching? Looney Tunes?
But god damn, look at these shots.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One of the criticisms I would give of this film is that Jack is mesmerizing, but he's not sympathetic. Because he just comes off as like a weirdo from the beginning. Like he's kind of already descended into madness by the beginning
Mhm.
to a certain extent.
that first scene that we see of him in the interview section is the most. This is the scene I was mentioning. He's reading the Playgirl magazine right there. People have used that to create their own theories. But that first scene with the interview, that was the most, I guess the proper word would be hinged.
Yeah.
That Jack is the entire movie. But even then, you do kind of get a not so sure feeling about him. And the more and more you see of him, the less stable of an impression you get off of him, you know? Nicholson's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
Of course.
He's incredible.
It's perfect for this role. We should.
I remember
Go ahead.
when we were watching Doctor Sleep, and I wanted so badly, like when he walked by where the painting is, or not the painting, the photograph. I was like, "Fucking look at the photograph," because I wanted to see what the photograph would show, but he didn't.
There's a lot. I mean, I didn't even realize they were all over the hotel, but there's a lot of damn frames and photos things. By the way, what an amazing undertaking, but to build this entire set. But look at how amazing it is. This is a massive, massive set. And it just feels so real. They also recreated it for Doctor Sleep as well.
Yeah.
Which could not have been cheap.
Nope. Good thing the movie bombed.
And here are there's two little girls, you know, just they're saying hi.
See, look, there's a poster for skiing, but he said that they don't do any skiing on the mountain. What's up with that? I was gonna say that phone booth looks weird there, but I don't know how shit went down in the 70s. Maybe they did have like indoor phone booths.
That's one of the other aspects of this, right? Like we're in the 2020s now, so it like well, this is 80, right? This is
1980.
79. Yeah,
filmed in
79.
Yeah.
So one of those, like Poltergeist, one of those transitional movies between the eras. Yeah, but it is mostly 70s stuff right here. It's the end of the decade. A lot of this is just, I think, foreign to us. Look at that fridge.
It's a beautiful fridge. Looks like you could survive an atomic bomb in that thing.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I like Shelley Duvall.
Nah, she's really good. I feel so bad that she was so tortured. Oh, this right here. There's a cutaway, a weird cutaway shot. So they're about to walk the street, and there's a car that is. You'll see it right now, and then it disappears in the next frame.
Which
You see it right there?
Which car?
It's gone. Okay, so
Oh
you didn't see
yeah.
it.
Okay, it was like a car driving towards them.
And now it's just gone.
You know what's funny though? Goddamn. Again, it's one of those things where every like movie mistake you could chalk up to like, but maybe it was intentional. We'll never know, like whether that was just a movie mistake that they forgot to, edit out, or it was Kubrick, his meticulous planning.
Right. This too, which I love the ballroom, but this too is also the commentary by the cameraman who was doing this said that by design, this ballroom it's just impossible. It's too big to be in this hotel.
Yeah.
Apparently that's what he said. So just more stuff to throw at you that you're just like, what is going on here? Nothing about this hotel makes sense. And then the more and more we see of it, the less and less of it makes it, any kind of sense.
The Overlook Hotel from the hit film Ready Player One.
That's still a cool scene though.
Ready Player One.
Yeah.
It was I like the like the recreation aspects of it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
But then everyone looked like an ugly, half-assed anime Avatar character. So, like, I'm sorry. If Ready Player One was like real, half of those people would be Shrek, furries, Sonic, Pepe Frog. Like they,
MAGA?
MAGA, yeah. Pepe Frog with a MAGA hat. Like that's what that would be. How cool of a name is Scantman Crothers?
I know, right?
It's like
Can
the
you believe me?
coolest fucking name.
Well, I mean, I also like his character name,
Yeah.
Dick Halloran.
But the first time I heard Scantman Crothers, I thought that was like, I don't know, like a stage name. It's I don't know, it
Mhm.
might be, I don't know. But it's I don't know. That's such a cool name.
It's a name that sticks with you, I feel. It's a massive kitchen. They don't need all that food, do they? By the way, do you remember, Peter, how long they even stay here before shit, hits the fan?
How long they were staying until shit hits the fan?
They were supposed to be
Well,
here for how many? Yeah, go ahead, David.
How long were they gonna stay there in general? Actually, I forgot.
The summer, wasn't it?
Not the summer.
Oh, okay.
I thought they said they
I
were
thought-
open from, or they closed. Either they're open or they're closed from, like, April to October. Isn't that what they said? They were talking about it during the
know.
meeting section.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was like 6
How-
months or something, or 3 or 6, something like that.
I want to say between like 3, 4, 5, 6 months. How long? Do we know how long they were staying until things went wrong?
The exact time? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
And they just leave that food for until the next season. That's a shit ton, of
Right?
food.
That shouldn't. I mean, the whole notion of somebody like of this hotel even needing a caretaker. What's the point of a caretaker?
Yeah. Okay, for a second I was like, "What's that?" Like whistling noise. It's like it's the movie.
Oh
threw
my
me
god!
off.
Are you?
Look at him. Oh no. Oh fuck.
That's a lot of food.
But you know how people say like, how real or unreal is it? Scatman Crothers seems decidedly real.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he leaves, and then comes back, to try and help them, and then gets an axe to the chest.
Right.
But
That seems pretty real.
he's one of the few characters where there isn't any ambiguity around him, like from the
Mhm.
hotel. Like these other two guys, I don't know them. I don't fuck with them. They could be ghosts, or there's something off about them. But with him, he feels decidedly real.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because he shines as well. I don't know. You can tell though, like he knows exactly where he wants people in the background, because it's always framed so intentionally. It feels.
This is the scene right now that I was referring to, David, about Scatman Crothers almost crying because of how many times they would have to do this over and over and over again.
Oh god.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be one of those people, because a lot of people will say like, well, at the end of the day, they were a genius. They did get incredible performances.
Everyone says that.
And
Everyone
I guess my
always
thing
says
is, that doesn't count. Are you fucking kidding me? If I go out there, like, kidnap someone, torture them, and then kill them, and then release that as a movie, people are gonna be like, damn, what an amazing performance. No, they're gonna be like, no, you fucking tortured them. Like, those screams are real. So when you literally torture your actors and actresses to act a certain way, that's not pulling a performance out of them. That's literally just torturing them and then responding to that. That's not being a good director. If anything, you're kind of a shit director. You're implying that you're not capable of pulling that performance out of them. You have to,
especially because, you know, the director, you have to tell everyone what you want in your movie.
Yeah.
And if you can't tell them, like, can you do this? Can you do that differently? Like, there's something probably wrong with it. And it really depends on what kind of performance he was giving, like, all those times. Like, what was it that he didn't like? Was it just a slight turn of the head or something? Or the way he was looking at the kid? What is it, you know?
Well, I think the biggest job of a director is to communicate your vision.
Yeah.
And while all his films have fantastic performances in them, it feels like a lot of times he didn't do much communicating. He would just destroy the actors and then be like, perfect, got it. All right, moving on. And it's like, that's not really directing. That's just torturing someone and catching it on camera. I can do that. I could be the world's greatest director. Tony. So was Tony like another ghost, or was it just his intuition about you know, the shine, his shine intuition?
I was kind of hoping you had the answer to that.
Oh, no.
That's one of the ones
I got no fucking answers.
that I mean, there are no answers really. We can only give our best guess, but like that's one of the things that I've never really been sure on. I guess what you just said there, I mean, obviously it is connected with his ability to shine. And it is something that he's had as long as he's been able to shine. So, yeah, I guess. Because he does mention it also in Dr. Sleep as well. So, I don't think it's a ghost per se. It may just be like a manifestation of his ability to shine, is what you said.
Yeah.
Who was the actor that played this character in Dr. Sleep?
Let me look it up. But he was great.
I thought he was great. I thought he was seamless.
I kind of was. And most of a lot of, we'll talk about that when we get to Dr. Sleep, but in most cases, I think it was a home run in terms of like the recasting.
Yeah. But like Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson are so iconic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just as individuals, that it's very, very hard to, because I know Shelley Duvall and I know Jack Nicholson. No matter how good you are, I'm going to be like, yeah, but you're not, that's not Jack Nicholson. So it's, I don't know. It's a little weird.
The actor is Carl Lumley.
He did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know. Stay away from room 237.
If only it was that easy to do so. Go ahead.
In the books, I haven't read the book. I'll admit that.
Didn't you say you tried reading it?
Was it with The Shining or was it with It?
It might have been with It. I think
it was with It.
I don't think I only read
like The Shining.
I read like, I don't know, 20, 30 pages of The Shining.
And then what happened? You're like,
no, I mean,
this isn't true literature. I just threw it to the side.
No, I mean, it's hard for me to keep up with books, so.
Yeah.
You finished It, right?
Oh,
No.
Fuck that. Do you know how huge It is as a book?
Oh my god.
It is It's the biggest book I've seen, like a mainstream book. It's the largest
And
I've seen.
there's so much detail. Like honestly, when I watched the It movie, I got so pissed off in this one scene where the kid gets like an H carved in his stomach, because in the book it's like 10 pages long, like the way he describes like the cut of it, and like I'm going through it, I'm like, oh my god, it's still going, and I see it in the movie, I'm like, that's the scene that just 2 seconds of it, and you give me 10 pages of that? Why?
To be fair, that was King during his coke days. Okay,
that's true.
Maybe he didn't realize that he'd been right.
Well, I mean, that seems to be about the least problematic elements with that book.
Yeah.
No.
Again, in his coke days.
Mm-hmm.
King's actually one of the
go ahead. Yeah,
the coolest guys.
Great. No, yeah. And that may be one of the things. There's a look here in the mirror, I think, because we're zooming in on Jack Torrance here.
Well, it's cool. Like, you don't see him, you just see him in the mirror. You see, he's reflecting on himself. And therefore, America.
Therefore, America. Is there a lot of mirror shots in this movie?
Yeah, there's some. Another one happens when the reveal of Red Rum and what that actually means. They use the mirror in that to great effect.
Was he like building up to that or something? I guess
it could
like,
be that,
sure.
but I mean, with Kubrick, it was probably all those things, right? It could be that, but it also most likely we're really trying to focus here on Jack clearly as we're zooming into him, and to kind of give us, I feel, an idea of like things are, while they seem okay, they're really not at this moment. Yes, Peter?
What he employs this technique where it's just, the camera slow pan inward during their discussion to certain characters. I think that's one of the best techniques he utilizes to just create a sense of unease. Like, they're just carrying on normal conversations, and that's just like, why are you getting so close?
The cameraman's commentary said that with Kubrick, his preferred style anyway, in terms of like how he wanted to make the aspect ratio of this look like, he said that, I forget what the name of it was, but it was supposed to be like a balanced neutral point between CinemaScope and widescreen.
Oh, okay.
So,
is there a reason for that?
I don't know what you'd call that. Because that's what he liked.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what, it's as simple as that. So this maze right here. This is also a big change in the book, right, Peter?
Is it?
It was, because from what... So, at least in how this looks like, I feel like, 'cause in the book, and I haven't read the book, obviously, but I thought that there were like magical shrubs. Like these things come to life.
Oh, yeah. Again, fucking King in his coke days. It wasn't a maze. It was like... Yeah, it was more akin to something of like the tree in Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Like that kind of shit.
No, but this is creepier though, I feel. Because it's a never-ending maze. And it is used, again, this is kind of used in the climax at the end of the movie. To great effect, not just in this one, but also in Dr. Sleep. But the framing of this, right? So you have them wandering this maze. You have the music, which is like definitely pumping up the creep factor. And then, oh, what's that? That's the maze. What's that doing there? Did it just get there? And then when you see him look at it, is he literally seeing a miniature Wendy and Danny walking in it? Or he's like, and again, that's part of the I think the everlasting mystery of this movie is what's really going on here? Like, because I think, so the everlasting debate and why Stephen King, and we'll get more into Stephen King's like issues with the film, but the main crux of it is this philosophical difference in which King definitely framed it from a base level supernatural perspective, while Kubrick was much more in favor in creating a mystery about that, much more nuance to it, where it could be that, or it also just could be plain a psychological breakdown as well.
Tuesday. Tuesday is pretty scary.
That's a weird. I think that was a weird one because it's like, I don't know.
You
Tuesday. Why
should fear Tuesday.
Well, it's not just Tuesday. It's like he does it for all the days. So I think maybe I answered my own question where this I think only takes a week or two because he keeps cutting to the different days: Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I think so. Later in the movie, he does. It would be weird if we just this is the only cut, and it's highlighting the particular day, but it happens throughout the film.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Like it would be insanely creepy to be all alone in a hotel. But there are aspects that would be really fun and cool. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't you just, like, love to run down hotels? Like, run down the hallways and shit, even though you're not allowed to? I don't know. It's like a big-ass mansion all to yourself.
Alexis, the moon landing theory. It has something to do with the carpet, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, no. This carpet is actually a reference to the 1999 film Toy Story.
The other way around.
1995, sorry.
Toy Story references this
93?
movie.
When the fuck did that movie come out? I think
95.
Okay.
95.
But yeah, this film is referencing Toy Story. Kubrick famously enjoyed the film.
The carpet has been used as a big part of that theory, yes, David. In the sequence where Danny is wearing literally an Apollo sweatshirt, and he's playing on the ground, on the carpet, and his exact position of it was used, conspiracy theorists claim it was used by Kubrick to reveal his involvement with faking the moon landing. Yes, you're right.
See, that's not true. Him with the Apollo shirt is a direct reference to Buzz Lightyear and his love of Toy Story.
Which would not be released until decades later.
He was a man ahead of his time. Do you not agree?
Yeah. I mean, you're right, Peter, though. It would be cool and fun for a bit to have the whole place to yourself.
Yeah. Until nighttime.
And look, when you look at this, yeah, until nighttime.
Knowing how fucking crazy Kubrick is, I'm surprised he didn't make Jack Nicholson type it all himself.
I'm not sure Jack Nicholson would have stood for that.
Yeah, he's a big star, so he probably couldn't get his shoved around.
Oh, is this the first scene where things go wrong between the two of them?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, so this is about to become a confrontation, and again, another suggestion that, their relationship is, I don't know. It's really hard to make of it. Obviously, it's not good. Obviously, it hasn't been in a good place for a while, and clearly, Jack is very what's the word for it? Doesn't seem to like Wendy all that much. He treats her like crap.
Remember your theory, or not your theory? What was one of the more unsavory theories? that
Well, one of the more unsavory theories was that part of the abuse that Jack had inflicted on his son was a sexual thing, and it was traced back to Jack reading that Playgirl magazine, which would then suggest perhaps his sexuality was repressed in that sense. Although that theory wasn't necessarily saying that. It's difficult to recall what it was exactly, but those are basically the breadcrumbs.
Yeah. And as we discussed this prior, obviously that him being gay does not equal pedophilia. That's pretty fucking homophobic, guys. Don't do that.
Also, by the way, just real quick before you get to your saying, that was so unbelievably harsh but hilarious when he just said, why don't you start right now and get the fuck out of here? And she just
walked away. That's not nice. But yeah, like when you're talking about like Playgirl magazine and hints that he might be gay, so to speak, or have some gay underlying feelings, I think you can trace that to maybe, again, repressed homosexuality, which in turn has him grow to resent his family and drinks. I can buy that. Like right now, he's just like, fuck this kid.
This is haunting a little, honestly. This is just like, what is in there? There's nothing in there right now.
Honestly, this descent to man is going a lot faster than I thought.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He kind of starts out crazy. There's no gradual fall, really.
Yeah.
But then it also, I think, on that point, my original thing was about like the history of like Wendy and Jack's relationship. And in terms of how she just took that then and there, she did seem surprised, so that perhaps may indicate that she's not used to being spoken to that way, although she took it rather well to where maybe she could be used to being talked to that way. It's hard to tell exactly.
It's because Shelley Duvall, like, she's very soft spoken and despite being really
Submissive.
tall, like very thin framed, so she doesn't give off like a demeaning vibe, more of a submissive vibe, especially through her acting, her character. It seems as if, and they say it in the beginning, he 9 months sober? So
I think 5 months.
5 months. So I'd have to imagine he has acted like this, but he hasn't acted like this in a while. So it's kind of taking her back, and she's like, well, I don't want to mess up anything because he's been sober, he's been getting better, But she did seem taken aback, but it also doesn't seem like it was the first time. You know what I mean?
Which would, I think, suggest perhaps a history of abuse there. And to what I'd mentioned off air about the commentary by the cameraman, that and he spoke about her and her appearance in terms of how she came to be cast in the role by Kubrick. In a way that perhaps was not very kind to Shelley Duvall's appearance. In fact, it was downright mean. But perhaps it did get us into the mind of Kubrick, which would also indicate perhaps he was very fucked up, more than what we've already been saying. But that Shelley Long, and this is him talking, not me, not Kubrick, but the cameraman, looked, and her physical appearance or attributes in her face just looked like the kind of person that would be caught in an abusive relationship. So there's that.
Yeah. They're very keen to show the swindle again and that it's snowing. Yeah. By the way, within a week, I mean, weather can change that quickly, but it went from green to snowing like crazy.
That's not snow, though. I think that's all salt.
Oh, yeah, well, and obviously, fake snow. Or no, there's a scene where Jack puts his finger to the ground, licks it, spits it out. Salt. It's actually referenced in the Star Wars film The Last Jedi. That's where they got that scene from on Crate. Direct reference to The Shining.
I don't know what to say to that.
That's why he's wearing red right now, you know? It's a reference to how the ground looks.
Oh, shit.
And the blood, too, everywhere.
Yeah.
Aren't twins just inherently creepy? It's like a clone of that individual. I don't know.
I mean, in general?
In general,
Like
yeah.
the concept of twins?
Yes.
What about triplets?
Even more. Every time you add one, it gets crazier. Just the fact that, like, okay, imagine there's another person that looks exactly like you, like down to the DNA, and your same voice, same everything, but isn't you. I don't know. Do I sound high?
I don't know what to say.
Like,
I don't know what to say to that. I don't know.
I don't say.
I suppose, perhaps, although they're not cloned, they have their own individuality.
Yeah, that's why it's creepy. It's an entirely
You're
different
suggesting
person,
perhaps,
but it just looks exactly like you.
So you're suggesting that it would be less creepy if it was just a copy of the same person?
Yes.
Even on the mind?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe this is a discussion for another time.
I guess.
I don't know what to say. I mean, that gets into the whole, like, ethics of cloning, which...
Hey.
Maybe when we discuss The Good Place, we can get to ethics.
Cloned meat.
Oh.
I'm here for it.
They,
Once they perfect it. Would you eat cloned meat? If they're like, here's a burger. It was made from the cloned meat of a cow.
I'm not aware of a downside to that.
I would try it. It's better. This is a cool setup right here. Just the beautiful snow outside, the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Where's it plugged into?
The TV?
Yeah.
It's not.
Is that one of the things? Is that one of the Kubrick?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
it's
fuck.
not.
Okay.
How is it on? I don't know.
But see, like, if it's 1980, that's something that you automatically look for, right? But in 2020, everything's wireless.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of thinking about it. So, see? The Disney imagery. I told you about this, guys, beforehand. There's every time something bad goes wrong, there's some Disney imagery. Because Kubrick
This is creepy right
Oh,
here.
fuck. That pan. Or, that wasn't a pan. That just, like, quick movement over to him. Oh, shit. And you see it in the mirror.
Uh-huh.
That guy needs a drink. Holy shit. And then also their room, they have windows outside. Like in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine their room would have that.
Well, there are windows everywhere, you see, right? Like, because that window of the bathroom that you see, that's the front of the hotel, isn't it? Because when they're escaping and he's rolling down the snow, isn't it revealed to be the front of the hotel?
Yeah, I think so, right?
So then what's this window here where this light is coming in? Where is that facing?
I have no fucking idea. Oh, but okay, wait. But don't they escape through this window, right?
The bathroom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Only one of them escapes through there.
Shelley Duvall. Doctor Sleep. Dum dum. I think you could maybe make an argument for the reason why he seems crazy from the very beginning is just kind of like that whole thing of he is part of the hotel. He was always part of the hotel.
That's another one of those theories, right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah. Well, where do you fall on? Do you think he was always part of the hotel?
I think the hotel made it that he was always part of the hotel.
You're referring, of course, to the infamous closing moments of the movie where it ends up being that Jack Torrance's photo.
It's also the whole thing of like where they start calling him by the name of the caretaker that killed their family. And it's later on they're like, oh, you know, you're the caretaker. You've always been the caretaker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's not a good response. Someone asked, like, hey, would you ever kill me? And your next response is to think about it and ask, what do you mean? I'm getting the fuck out of there. That was not the correct response. I'm sorry.
Dad, you would never hurt me or Mom. What do you mean?
No. I guess it depends. Oh, what do you mean?
It's like Trump being asked whether or not he'll accept the result of the election. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
That was unsettling.
Wednesday. Oof.
That many lights are on?
It seems like they have the whole hotel on, which is kind of a waste of electricity.
Well, true. Oh, this is the scene, David, you were talking about. So, like, that tennis ball came out of nowhere, but yeah, this supposedly like Danny's position here is talking about the damn.
Is he the moon? I don't get it.
Well, he's Apollo.
Oh, okay. It's hand knitted. What does it mean that it's hand knitted?
I don't know, man.
Let's break this down. What does it mean? It means they probably just found a little sweater.
Yeah.
At a thrift store. And Kubrick said, yeah, sure, okay. Apollo.
So this is room 237. Okay. He goes in there right now, right? Is that what? And then we cut away to Jack and Wendy right now? Is that where we are in the movie?
Yes.
Okay. This movie is flying by. Is anyone else just thinking that? Or?
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, because they don't show it right now. They don't show it until Jack.
Right. So, like, we're led to believe that he may have walked in there. And then, of course, Danny's story is that the bathtub lady strangled him or attacked him. And then, of course, here right now, she hears Jack screaming. And he's having the dream of him killing his family.
Poor Shelley. She's doing all the work. I thought Jack was the caretaker.
That's a good point, Peter. I hadn't thought of that. She really is. I mean, supposedly, like, he's the one that is... What's he even writing? A novel or a book or something? He's a writer.
He's a
right,
writer. That's kind of him. Yeah. His excuse for taking the caretaking job is it'll give him time to write. Jack.
Come back. There's an American flag again. What does it mean? I don't know. Of course, I'm kidding.
That's another thing too. I feel like the film doesn't need the shining aspect whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm surprised Kubrick even left it in the movie, because
You're so right.
the fact that Danny has the shine, I feel like it just adds nothing to the story, right? Because like everything is about this guy's sort of descent into madness,
Mm-hmm.
and everything that represents that. I'm not sure how Danny having the shining really plays into that. In the original book, it does, obviously. And when in comparison to like Dr. Sleep, because the whole idea is the shine is sort of like a magnet for these ghosts to come, and then they go after Jack because he's sort of mentally weak due to, his recovering alcoholism. He's susceptible, basically. But this film doesn't take a literal interpretation, so
right. You're correct, and I agree with you. This particular shot here is a little disturbing. He's just, she doesn't realize that from this distance that he's hurt, right?
Yeah.
It's not until she gets closer to him.
And then he's just slowly, God, it is really well put together film.
Mm-hmm. And I love the little look here when we switch over from Jack's perspective. The moment Wendy, it occurs to her that Jack could have done this, and then she slowly nods over in his direction from right here, this vantage point right now.
Gosh. She's probably like, he did it, that bastard. Look at it. She's so good. It's like, bitch, I was sleepy.
I mean, he was.
Yeah.
Although, if you're taking the perspective of there are no supernatural happenings going on, then how could anyone else but Jack do it?
Yeah. And again, that's why I sort of feel like the fact that his son can shine doesn't add anything. Or maybe it does. Again, I'm not one of the crazies that reads into it like super hardcore. I shouldn't say crazies. I should say hardcore fan. Enthusiast.
The fanatics.
Fanatics. Yes, fanatics. I like that word. The fanatics. The unwinding hours. What did the hours say? Is there a message there? He moved too quick. I can't read it.
Oh, boy. No, not that I can tell.
This is where it's Lloyd, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're correct. God, this music.
See, if one of those fanatics was a real fanatic, they would have recreated the ballroom scene and then gotten married there. A shining wedding. That would be cool to see. It almost looks like a church, like in the back. You know what I mean?
I can kind of see what you're saying. The architecture of the roof basically resembles that. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. That's an amazing laugh.
But the way like he's directly speaking to you and then it turns to him. It's
By the
so
way,
well
this
put together.
performance though is so creepy too. Like he's just so like.
Oh, I have an interesting quote here.
Mm.
Stephen King recalled Kubrick calling him late at night while he was filming The Shining, and Kubrick asked him, "Do you believe in God?" King said that he had answered in the affirmative, but has had 3 different versions of what happened next. One time, he said that Kubrick simply hung up on him. On other occasions, he claimed Kubrick said, "I knew it," and then hung up on him. On yet another occasion, King claimed that Kubrick said, before hanging up, "No, I don't think there is a God." So...
Which is which?
Uh,
All those things happened, or
Well,
one of those things happened?
apparently, not Kubrick, over the years, King has had 3 separate answers.
Mm.
And those are the 3. Which one is the true one? I don't know. Much like the Shining, up to interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
One of the big reasons why Stephen King hated Kubrick's film so much, I believe, was because the book itself was so personal for him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was, he very much, I feel like the Jack character was very, very much written by Stephen King as a sort of self-insert to a certain extent. And it really was about, the alcoholism and sort of the pull between those demons, or in this case, ghosts of that, and the love of his family. And that's kind of not what this film is.
Mm-hmm.
It is there, but not there to the extent that I believe the book is more emotional. Like, there is more of a descent into madness and less of a just Jack Nicholson being creepy from the beginning. Which is why, and we'll get into it when we do the audio commentary there, I believe that's why he really enjoyed Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, one of the things that come to mind is that Jack here is not at all represented or presented at all as a sympathetic person, as you said at the beginning of the commentary. But then again, that is kind of addressed and if not remedied with Dr. Sleep,
Mm-hmm.
where he is presented in that light, more so in that film, but not here. Which is kind of, the ongoing thing with... It kind of is that ongoing, like, this relationship between these two movies, right? Like the story together makes sense, both of these two films, but of course in terms of execution, it really depends on what it is you prefer to view it on as. If you want to leave The Shining, Kubrick's Shining, as its own creation that stands alone, which most do. And then with Dr. Sleep being, because it was, as we reviewed the movie, that sequel to both Kubrick, but mostly to King.
God, this performance is so good.
Isn't it? And then she comes out of nowhere. I love this moment right here where she explains to him. And then he just like stares back at her with no reaction. And he just says, look how emotional she is. And then him just so dryly, "Are you out of your fucking mind?" Like,
237. But see, that's another thing that kind of throws off, like, because how you said earlier, maybe, maybe he did hurt Danny, because of it's in his mind, all that. But it was Scatman Crothers who warned Danny about room 237.
237. Mm-hmm.
And I think he's the most clearly represented as just being not a ghost, not a figment of anyone's imagination, but like a normal dude. So, yeah.
The paintings that we see in this room, the cameraman said, were specifically chosen by Kubrick himself. And if you are familiar with the imagery, they are, as I think, what would be considered to be overtly sexual, if not erotic imagery.
Yeah. Is there a reason for that?
There was no reason given besides Stanley personally picked it. That's it.
That's weird.
I know.
See, now I'm questioning everything. Like, wait, what's the point of that? What is this? But not only sexual, like very black, like with fro, and because it's not just sexual imagery or naked women, very clearly, black sexuality of these black women. So I don't.
It could just be that he just liked the images and wanted it to be.
I don't know. That's kind of. See, now I'm just wondering, like, wait, what the fuck? Stanley Kubrick, the ultimate troll. You see, because, yeah, he's kind of... Oh, man. Did they tell him to spit? Or because that's his spit. That's crazy.
I guess you could say that the plot perspective as to why Kubrick kept the shine, it connects Dick Halloran to the events here.
But Dick Halloran comes back and instantly dies, and then that's the end of Dick Halloran.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I also question too, is like, why did he keep these things in the movie? Was just to not further set Stephen King ablaze? And that also leads me to question too, was King even involved? Or was he just kept in the dark until he saw the final version of the movie?
I think it was very much a Kubrick film. He might have asked King
questions.
Questions here and there, but it was very much a Kubrick film.
Because now, I mean, I feel like maybe this movie was the reason for that. I feel like King is very much involved with who makes adaptations of his movies,
Yeah.
Not like he's controlling, but he's just there to keep an eye on it, in the filming of it. Whereas I'm not sure he was even around or on set ever.
I feel like if Kubrick didn't want something in his film, though, he wouldn't put it in. You know what I mean? Like if there wasn't.
Well, don't they escape the hotel by using whatever that guy used to get to the hotel?
The snowcat. He used his own snowcat, right? You're right. Because the one that that Wendy was going to go and use.
Oh, okay. Maybe the sexual photos was to I don't know, sort of a bit of foreboding imagery
to this.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I fucking know. All I know is for the past 5 minutes, this movie's gotten pretty sexual.
Jack seems to be distracted by something.
Yeah, I wonder what that is. And again, I imagine in the book, all these ghosts are very... Their whole backstories are very explicit about such and such came here in the year 19 whatever. 1802. They died this way. But here they're meant to represent, I don't know.
Honestly, don't know what the point of her is.
Well, she's the one that attacked Danny, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Why she's in the movie?
yeah,
I don't know, man.
or at least this way. I mean,
He sees the back.
Oh God.
Ugh. So yeah, there's shots like she died in there. Yeah, I don't know. Shit's just creepy, yo.
Why are the lights off in that scene?
That's true.
Is
There has to be a book. Cause I'm not watching that fucking documentary. But
No,
there
you
has to be
shouldn't.
a book that just dives into everything, you know, and like breaks down all the imagery, all the little choices, and really tries to pull apart the film and talk about like what everything means and why this is this way and that's that way. Honestly, I would I'd probably read that before I'd read the actual Shining novel, which I would like to read. Stephen King is a good writer.
oh yeah. What other books have you read from him?
Shawshank is the last one I read.
Oh, nice.
Wish it is.
I've read End of Watch.
I've watched End of Watch.
It's very different, I assure you. What is it? The Dark Tower.
I really want to read The Dark Tower.
I really like the first one.
Didn't Sony make a crappy movie about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With what's his
But
name?
they come.
What's his name?
Idris Elba
Yeah,
played.
Idris Elba, right, yeah.
I say, and yes, I am going for the obvious answer here. But fuck it, you know, whatever. Mike Flanagan, get him to do the Dark Tower TV show.
I'd be surprised, honestly, like, I would think King would be like, any more movie versions of my works, give it to Mike Flanagan. He's done, like, what, at least 2 at this point?
3?
3? Okay.
2. But
Well, King
but he has
adaptations.
another movie coming out for Netflix that I think is a Stephen King adaptation.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe that's where I'm getting the 3. I like to count The Haunting of Hill House. It's more of a Stephen King adaptation than a Shirley Jackson adaptation.
It really is. There's a lot of similarities in there.
Yeah.
Although, remember a few months back it was announced that J.J. Abrams' people were doing something with The Shining on HBO Max?
With The Shining?
No, yeah, like a Shining series of some sort.
Oh no.
I know.
You know what sucks? I don't hate J.J. Abrams. I just feel like he gets attached to all the properties that least suit his abilities.
To be clear,
Yeah.
he himself is not working on the project.
Yeah.
I think Bad Robot is working on the project. So they're going to find other people to do it. He's just going to put his producing name on it, I feel.
Okay, but still.
Yeah.
I just don't want him near.
I know.
But at the same time, I don't care. Red Rum.
Well, there were rumors. Not rumors. I think there was actual like reports that Flanagan was looking into doing a Dick Halloran movie after Doctor Sleep.
Like prequel
Mhm.
type shit.
That could work on HBO Max, but I think Flanagan's all tied up with Netflix right now, it seems.
Give him, HBO Max. Steal him. Do the what's it called? Fuck.
The streaming deal?
No, I was just talking about the Dark Tower. Give him the Dark Tower TV show. I feel like he'd do a good job. I've read things here and there what the Dark Tower is. It's fucking weird. It seems like it would be really hard to adapt, but I feel like he's been really successful in adapting his hardest works, which is like Doctor Sleep and Gerald's Game and shit like that.
Right there, did you guys catch that Nicholson looked at the camera?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
What?
Is he
real
like
quick.
Slowly breaking fourth wall?
I don't know, but there was a quick weird glance that directly in the camera right now as he was storming out of the room. I don't know what it means, but it's just there.
Back to the party.
I think he hears music
Yeah.
first, and then he sees the balloons.
Where?
Yeah.
No balloons. Oh, yeah. Is it this version or... Fuck. It's the version you guys have seen. They have where there's like skeletons at the end, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This version hasn't.
Okay. See, that's another thing then, because I feel like at this point, the only one to have really seen anything is Jack, and technically, what's his name? Danny. But he's a child, so he's not like the most reliable as far as has he seen anything. But then at the end, you have Shelley Duvall, like she sees shit. She sees the skeletons. So then
She sees more than the skeletons too.
Yeah, and she sees the ghosts herself. How can it be in his head if she sees it as well?
Well, look here. Here's this mysterious haze that just came out of nowhere.
If, let's say, someone built like a replica of this hotel and then opened it up, would you guys stay here?
No.
That's a good fucking question.
Oh, I totally would.
I feel like I would kill for the opportunity to do that, but I'm not sure if I'd stay at night.
I'd stay in room 237. What are you talking about?
Oh my god. You said no, David?
Yeah, I said no.
That was a fast no.
See, when Disney eventually purchases WB,
oh my god,
they will in fact open up their own Overlook Hotel. You know it's gonna happen. Well, I'll tell you this: if Disney owned this property, they would do some shit like that.
Well, technically, go ahead, David.
I would take a tour of the hotel replica,
but you would not stay.
Yeah.
They'd have their Scatman Crothers impersonator there.
Oh my god. I mean, technically, Universal can... That would be cool if Universal and Warner Brothers teamed up like they did with Harry Potter, and they announced a new hotel, literally themed to the Overlook.
You know what the issue is? Like, when you do a Star Wars hotel, it's like, yeah, everyone loves Star Wars, take the kids, fun, all that. There's not many people who are gonna move their vacation around going to the Overlook Hotel.
No.
You know what I mean?
The appeal of it, I think, may be limited. I think a lot of people would be scared off by it.
But I think at the very least it would be a fancy hotel, right? And everyone loves fancy hotels.
Yeah.
You could still market it as a fancy hotel. All the staff would be named Lloyd. You'd have to refer to everyone in the staff as Lloyd. They'd all be wearing that shit. That'd be funny.
It would be hilariously messed up if they do make a real life hotel, but they part of the theme of staying here is they intentionally move things around to fuck with the guests. You know, that's going hardcore with the theming.
Oh, fuck that.
I mean, you want the themed experience. There's it. That's what it is.
The first year I went to Halloween Horror Nights, they had a maze of The Shining.
Did they?
Yeah, it was.
What did it feature?
Cool. It was really, really cool. They had that scene where, they had that scene with the skeletons, because it went from like a bright, room, and then you turn a corner, and then there's skeletons around. That like in the movie, except some of the skeletons were played by scare actors, and they would jump at you, but you don't know which were which. So I closed my eyes and kept moving.
By the way, I don't know if who the production design artist was, or maybe this is just Kubrick, but and I noticed this also with 2001. He just knows what to do with a color palette.
Yeah.
This bathroom just really sticks out,
It just pops like crazy.
And it's not something that ever would occur to me, It's just what is this?
Yeah, Grady. He was the previous
caretaker. Supposedly, this actor was also in Clockwork Orange. Grady here.
Yeah. You have always been the caretaker. I always think that's one of the creepiest lines.
No, I agree with you, but this scene is just so wonderfully, I think, executed, because they're having a pretty chum-like conversation. It seemed casual, but then as it slows down and the turn, it's just so creepy, because then it just becomes a conversation between their eyes, in a way.
It's mostly Jack Nicholson's eyes.
Well, you look at Gary's eyes too, especially once it gets serious, because at this point, Gary here, this is the final I think blow, right? This is where the hotel, in the form of Grady, finally they make the final push here, and this is what brings Jack over the edge, because after this is where he gets the axe and starts going after them.
Madness is a lot like gravity. All it takes is a little push. Joker reference.
Yeah, The Good Place used that too in a different direction.
To be fair, Joker is the greatest film ever made.
This is the Dark Knight.
Kubrick could never.
That
it was all about society.
That Joker quote you're referencing is from the Nolan
society.
movie. Not,
right there.
Oh my god. The delivery. And then with the music. Also, by the way, I didn't pick this up, but apparently, so this whole scene right here, is Grady, is convincing Jack about keeping his home in check and everything, and correcting his wife and his children when they're out of turn. This is how he uses them to, persuade Jack to do that crap. But according to the commentary from the cameraman, the song playing in the background that can be heard from the 1920s, it's called Home.
Oh. See that? Yeah, that's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good at just looking glassy-eyed, just kind of lost.
I like the change in the butler's acting.
Oh, the way he just kind of
just goes from hey, what's up? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
To just going to
yeah.
menacing.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, he said the N-word.
Yeah. The N word was used several times, right?
Yeah.
They're saying it. This is their time now.
Right.
But see, it's like the house is basically warning him, like, hey, he got the shine. Take his ass out. Which again implies this isn't in his mind. Because the house itself is recognizing it.
Unless he already knew. I don't know how, but
Or both things
Just
are
making shit
true. I
up.
mean, technically both things are true, right? Like he is completely going mad, or already was unstable to begin with, and of course the ghosts are just exacerbating that. God, he's so good. He is so good at his. Not, of course, he makes wonderful faces, but look at all the directions, in the looks in his eyes. Nicholson is an amazing actor, and oh my god, I cannot believe he's just completely retired from films.
Yeah.
I think the last thing he was in was The Departed, and he was also amazing in that movie.
He's been retired for a while now, and I guess
Mm-hmm.
I had heard, I don't know how true this was, but like due to age, he was having trouble memorizing lines.
Well, he's still seen it in public at Lakers games.
Yeah, right? That's the thing. When I heard that, I was like, oh no, like, is he going? But he seems to still be,
It's been over a decade,
Yeah.
close to 15 years now, so like he seems to be living
he's
just fine. Maybe he's just done.
He's just retired. That is one of the things that always, so with actors, it's like a lot of them don't retire, and a lot of them can retire. But they just keep working until they're dead.
Norman Lear
like 90.
is 98 years old and still working.
Yeah. And you don't have to keep working, but they just do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Also, Jack Nicholson, aside from, I believe, Daniel Day-Lewis, is the only actor to win the best leading actor Oscar 3 times.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, if he comes out of retirement, one last ride, he could bury Daniel Day-Lewis, because Day-Lewis is retired as well.
He had the record until Daniel Day-Lewis won for Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Meryl Streep, I think, also is the other one that has 3 leading
Fucking
actors.
Meryl Streep.
Of course.
The Academy's obsessed with Meryl. Rad Rom.
It is creepy how he says it, though. Did anyone ever? I wanted to ask this question. I know it's just a pure coincidence, but so Red Rum, obviously, the reveal of it being murder was so creepy. You should have seen it coming. My God, the way he uses that voice is so creepy. But like, so it's Red Rum, but doesn't that sound like Red Room? The Red Room?
Somewhat.
Haunting
to me,
of
when
Hill
I think
House?
Red Rum, I think like blood.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess. Yeah. Red Rum. Oh, okay. That voice. God. She looks like, what the fuck is happening?
I would have smacked the shit out of that kid right there. Like, stop freaking me out.
Oh my god.
Red Rum. What was the name? He called it Toby?
Tony.
Tony. Oh, my neck. Can you guys hear that? Oof.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was loud.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty crazy how huge this place is, and they kind of let the kid just go wherever. All over the
What
hotel.
else is he gonna do?
Okay. So, David, you've said you've hated this film. Why is that?
No, it didn't. No, I liked it the first time.
The first time?
It was my second time.
Yeah, at this point, he's full murder mode.
How long has he been on the fucking phone?
For a whole week. Catman Crothers. With the heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're just down to 8 a.m.
The heartbeat, yeah, you're right. It's building and building and everything. Those people look way too comfortable to be flying. It's not that comfortable.
No, I'm not a fan of flying. We need to get rid of flying. We really do.
Well, you're a big proponent of a high-speed rail.
100%. Interconnected high-speed rails.
I'm a big proponent of instant teleportation. I think that's the best.
You would have to die to teleport, though.
Why?
The way science has looked at teleportation, the way it works is they would have to destroy you down to the atom and then use atoms in the wherever you're being teleported to remake you. So what's basically happening is when you quote unquote teleport, you are literally dying, and then a new basically clone of you is being created with all of your memories up until the point where you died.
I reject that.
Cool.
I reject it, and I say that's fake.
I mean, I guess.
What does science know?
Dick Halloran. It's so interesting though, because so much of the time of this film is dedicated to Dick Halloran, and nothing comes of it.
I know, right? Like, you're thinking that it's gonna be like this big thing. He's gonna come in and save him, but he gets there and then he's immediately killed.
Or
which also was not how the book handled things, right?
Yeah. Or you would assume he would at least play some role. You know, maybe, I don't know, he dies saving Danny, or just anything like that. But no, he just walks in like, hello? Jack comes out of nowhere, kills him instantly, and then keeps going.
So was the point just to build shock value? To, catch audiences off balance? By dedicating this much screen time, you're expecting something, and then it's like a subversion of expectations kind of thing?
I'm going to say no, because everyone knows subverting expectations means you're a terrible director.
Oh my god.
A la Ryan Johnson.
Maybe, I mean, again, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but maybe it's just to kind of start off that, okay, now Jack's going on the killing spree. You know?
No, because beforehand, I believe he's going after Danny.
No, before that, he's literally ripping apart the room, right? Isn't that what happens? No. Wendy goes to confront Jack, and then we'll see right now that Jack first attempts to kill Wendy.
Yeah.
Right now. So Wendy's about to leave Danny right now. And she takes the bat with her. Yeah.
Don't eat.
The music, if it catches you, you're through.
That is good. There's a lot of cartoon imagery, and I don't know if it's just the obvious answer that he's a fucking kid, so he's gonna have cartoons and kid shit around, or maybe there's more to it, right? Because there is a lot of like Bugs Bunny, Mickey Mouse. There's Pooh Bear in the back.
That's true.
But, I don't know. Again, if this book exists that just lays it all out, I will read it. What's he eating? Soup and chocolate milk?
I think it's cereal.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's still weird.
Oh. Yeah.
That might be even more weird. Beat his ass. Hashtag girl power. Oh yeah, this is where all fun and no what is it? All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what this is. Oh, okay. I was gonna ask, but then I remember. Does it seem as if the furniture has been moved around since the last time we were here?
No.
Because let me tell you, Kubrick did that on purpose. Some of this has been moved around a lot.
Really? Oh man, I can't even tell.
He would do that intentionally to catch the audience off balance. So I'm not sure what exactly, or if it's even in this room. But there were some things that would have been moved around continuously. That was something that was official.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
This is the scene from Ready Player One now.
The superior film.
Directed by Kubrick's friend, Steven Spielberg.
Mm-hmm. I still recommend the book. Ready Player One, I mean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's way better, honestly. And the sequel to it's coming out in November.
Look, right here. So it's like the secretary would have to and how I referenced how you see how as she pulls back the pages, every single one is formatted differently. Look how maddening that is. On typewriter.
Oh shit. Fuck. Imagine being Stanley Kubrick's assistant. Holy shit. He did not pay whoever that was enough.
I like how as Jack creeps up behind her, he's like, "So how do you like it?" Right now.
Oh god. So David, why do you hate this film?
Oh my god.
Oh. See, she's holding a baseball bat, a distinctly American instrument. What does that mean? What is he telling us? He wants America
Babe Ruth was a myth.
to beat back society. Brilliant. I love it. See, these are the scenes where poor Shelley Duvall was just driven mad.
Mm-hmm.
She claims her hair even started to fall out.
Oh
No, that's true.
oh no.
Awful. I think you can tell. It's even in her face. Shelley Long's done.
Oh gosh.
It's actually interesting. I wonder if, like, it almost looks as if, like, you would almost, it's not, but, like, in terms of how she's retreating and how she's, like, breaking down, you'd be almost half convinced that perhaps it's not Nicholson she's retreating from, but it's Kubrick.
No.
It's the audience. We are the true monster.
Oh my god.
Hashtag society.
We live in a society.
Yeah. Basically, everything this film tries to say, Joker said 1,000,000 times better.
You need to be clear about your sarcasm, Peter.
Why? If they actually believe it, it's even funnier. See, May 1st.
So think about this, for example, for a minute, right?
Done nothing.
What did you say, David?
I'm saying, like, he's done nothing to take care of the hotel.
Well, yeah, but
so he's like, it's all bullshit what he's saying right here.
But just think about this, like, this irony here. So, like, Kubrick intentionally casts Shelley Duvall because he claims that she was the kind of look that, you know, is indicative of women who are in abusive relationships, and then he proceeds to abuse her.
Yeah. All around not great. Darling? Oh my gosh. Yeah, this really is just the Jack Nicholson show. David, has Alexis seen this film?
Yeah, we saw it together. Yeah, she liked it too.
Was she scared?
Of
Okay.
Of course.
That's the litmus test if something's the bare minimum of scary.
The way he says Wendy. It's like, oh shit, Wendy. And that's Jack's body double falling down the stairs.
Oh, you can see in his face. That's not him for that split second. See, a real auteur would would throw themselves down the stairs. I wouldn't.
This is a live look at President Trump waking up tomorrow.
Melania dragging him to the podium.
I don't think she'd care.
No,
this
wouldn't.
would be Ivanka, probably.
She's too busy laughing at dead children. Bash him in again.
They're not dead, Peter. They're just
Dying?
in camps. Yeah, they're just dying. They're not dead.
I don't know. The way he's acting, he might have permanent brain damage. Not like his brain was that great to begin with, but... Doesn't this kind of wake him up a bit when she hit him?
Well, it's interesting. The cameraman in the commentary had said that in this instance, in terms of what was intended for why Jack was acting in this particular way, and kind of pleading with Wendy, is that this would show kind of the pattern that has been the relationship all this time. He would mess up, and then he would apologize to her.
Yeah.
And then this is her not believing it finally.
Oh, that's interesting. That's good.
So this would be, in a way, kind of like how he would apologize to her after he hurt Danny.
Yeah. He'd fuck up, he'd apologize, then
like
fuck up
right
again. Here. His face. Like this camera placement.
And that's Kubrick holding the camera.
Oh, really?
Who's underneath Jack Nicholson, yes.
She is done. Nevertheless, she persisted. Poor Shelley Duvall. Yeah, never mind. He's still full of shit. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I guess you can argue that Scatman Crothers provides them an exit.
Where there would be none.
I mean, either way, I agree, though. Like, you should have made him do more. Like,
it's just
save
weird.
the family or something.
Fuck. Look at all that snow. I love this shot right here. And all of that was salt?
Salt. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
It's a lot of salt.
Waste of good salt. I think this specific scene, like watching behind the scenes, is where I saw like Shelley Duvall and Stanley Kubrick going at it.
And Shelley Duvall was completely convinced that Kubrick was genuine in like his outrage against her. He was just fucking with her.
Yeah, but I guess in a way that is genuine though.
and then this.
Oreos in the back. What does this mean? Let's decipher.
I think I see peanuts there too.
Planters. The consumption of America. Surrounded by food, he consumes it as well. What does this mean? Let's discuss. And then this is another, big discussion, I guess.
Right.
Whereas if it's all in his head, how did he get out of there?
How is it possible?
Without a little bit of help. Oh yeah, look at the Native American imagery in the background.
Mm-hmm.
For the canned food. Mr. Torrance.
Is it possible Wendy did it herself? Although why she would do that, I don't know. But
maybe Danny.
Oh. But Danny doesn't even know this is going on.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Tony.
Oh.
Fuck this house, man. This doesn't even look real right here. This looks like a matte painting. The snow and the trees and
Are there trees that tall?
Right? This is gonna surprise you, but not everyone lives in a barren desert. Some people have life outside their window. It's crazy.
He looks cold.
The continuing saga of Scatman Crothers.
This must be a bitch to drive through, honestly.
In a car, yeah. In a snow thing that's literally built for snow, probably not. Mm-hmm. Wait, so did she just lock up her husband and then go to sleep?
Yeah, there's no way for him to get out.
Still, though, I probably wouldn't feel good to fall asleep while I know there's someone trying to kill me and my son.
What's the other option if you can't leave? Because the snowcat's dead.
Fuck, I don't know. I'd probably lock ourselves in a random part of the house, at the very least. I wouldn't sleep, I'll tell you that.
You wouldn't sleep well.
Red Rum.
Lipstick.
And this is all still Tony, right?
How's she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was gonna say, well, how's she not hearing him?
Why is she asleep?
Why is she asleep to begin with?
She seems to be sleeping pretty comfortably considering all that's happened, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are heavy sleepers, you know?
Yeah.
And then he started screaming it. Rad Rob, Rad Rob. She's like, fuck, everyone in my family's trying to kill me.
And look at this. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have slept.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, what do you do?
Fuck. Lock yourself in the freezer? I don't know. Because it's like, it's snowing way too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all that salt. See, right here is where she like licks it and she spits it out. She's like, salt. Oh, you know what? I forgot. In the Shining Special Edition,
Oh my god.
Kubrick released before his death, they cut out that scene. I don't think he fits.
That must be a fun slide.
That does look fun. Snow is fun until you realize it's wet.
Do you say that from personal experience?
Yeah. You ever held like snow in your hand? Like it looks fun, right? You just grab it like woo.
Yeah.
But then you hold it, it's like holding ice.
It looks a lot more fun than it is.
Yeah. Did they use a real axe for this? Like actually break down?
I'm sure. Yeah, everything is real in here.
I wonder how much Jack Nicholson improvised.
Well, this scene, I think it was the most, right?
Well, the famous "Here, Johnny," like that's obviously improvised.
This is so good. It's horrifying, but so good.
I really like the little camera thing he does, where he follows the swings.
Uh-huh.
She's pleading with Kubrick off screen.
She's an amazing scream, by the way.
Yeah, she does. Shelley Duvall's great. Like, I don't... Yeah, that looks like they really just went to town on a real door. Fuck your hand. See, this is what I mean. He was already trying to murder them before he even showed up to the hotel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, I hadn't seen it. I haven't seen it in a long time.
No
so-
excuses. Either you're a fan or you're not. We
And they
we don't
both
need fake
overhear
fans
him.
here, okay?
Here's where they both overhear Halloran arriving.
Overlook Hotel.
Why did he come back inside? Oh, to save her?
How did he get back inside? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, the door, right? The front door. Guess they don't lock it.
Yeah.
How does she doesn't go through the window, right? I can't remember.
No. I didn't even realize that he locked her in. Unless it locked itself?
No, I think the door's
It's
stuck.
stuck.
Oh.
Taking an axe to it might do that to it.
Mm-hmm.
His iconic little shuffle. Where did he hurt his leg again? When he fell?
I'm going to assume that's what happened. Because I don't know how else that... We haven't seen him get injured since then. And it was a pretty nasty fall.
Don't do it, Dick. Don't do it. Not Mr. Crothers. He's right there. He's hiding. That bitch.
I always forget which one he's hiding behind.
It actually changes with each viewing of the film.
Does it? Wow.
It's incredible. Right there. I think that one. No. It's more in the light.
I think it's the second one. I think it may be the last one.
Is it the last one? I think it's this one. Do it.
No.
No, it's not. Okay, I guess it's the last one. Yeah. Just out of fucking nowhere.
I think that was like the only jump scare I got from the movie because I literally did not expect that at all.
And then that slow
Or at least it would
rise.
put up more of a
Oh
fight.
my god. Maybe they had him just to show him kill someone because he wasn't gonna kill
Anyone else?
anyone else.
Yeah.
And then there's this. You want to take a crack at explaining what this is?
What is her running?
No, the ghost that she sees. The particular ghost that she sees. They're just ghosts.
They're just ghosts. The house is vibrant, coming alive. And, like, I guess she acknowledges they're ghosts because she doesn't ask, like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Well, look at this.
I mean, there's like a shit ton of stuff going on.
What is this?
Just also the score, actually putting
Those
voices.
are some sexual ghosts.
Yeah, David, you're right. Also, you're right too, Peter. Well, I mean, he was giving him a blowjob, right? The dude in the bear.
How in that mask, though?
I don't know. Unless that must have been painful. Unless that's a kink.
I don't know.
That's not the question.
We need these questions answered.
I don't want to know the answer to that one.
It's okay. You don't need to.
It might be worth it. You never know. Were they the original furries?
Well, again, the theory was that was the physical manifestation of Jack's repressed homophobia and then the abuse on his kid.
Yeah, I don't see it. Again,
No.
maybe the repressed homophobia, but this whole thing of he abused the kid, I don't think it's there at all. I think it's very clearly he hurt him.
I agree with you.
Because even when he's like confessing to Lloyd, it's very much like, yeah, like I injured him one time, big whoop.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much nothing more than that.
Until here.
Oh yeah, until here. I agree, Alexis. He isn't winning Dad of the Year. What's so funny, I think, with this movie is that he isn't defeated, so to speak. They just kind of escape,
Yeah.
And then he just freezes to death.
Mm-hmm. Is this the elevator scene?
I believe so.
Oh, not yet.
Apparently Kubrick was very happy with the elevator shot. Fuck that.
How does he get away again? He finds his way out of the maze, and Jack never.
He tricks him to go a different direction,
and the lights are off all of a sudden.
Yeah, all of a sudden it just goes full fucking haunted house.
Yeah, you're about to see it right now. How he tricks him, which is honestly, this might be my favorite part, just because like I just go, "Wow, you genius!"
Yeah, I would have died.
Same.
What is this? I've never seen this hallway. Have we?
No.
Oh.
I don't think so. Or maybe yes, I don't remember. And then yeah, this is the scene. Yeah, and then he's just kind of, he loses him here.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, do the magical like trees help Danny, or are they part of the? No, they're the ghosts, right? Too.
I don't know.
No.
All I know is that it's more of a. It's more like the bushes turn into like monsters type thing than a maze. And then see, that's what I mean when I was talking about earlier, where if Kubrick didn't want something in his film, he would not have included it.
Mm-hmm.
He, a maze fit better for the story he was telling, so he put a maze. So then that questions all the other stuff that may seem unnecessary or maybe not go anywhere within the film. Hints to that, it probably does, you're just not seeing it because he was very deliberate with everything he included and did with his stories. Run, muchacho.
Also, that's the other smart thing. He uses the trail to get back out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure, I would have been dead. I cannot do mazes. Is she thinking about finding her kid or no? She throws down the knife. Is he calling for them?
No, he's
Just
singing.
yelling. Yelling incoherently. There they go. Is she trying to say Wendy?
And they're gone. It sounds like fucking Tarzan almost for a second there.
I was thinking Rocky.
And then isn't it like a smash cut to him just dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. It's a still
That's
frame.
so
Yeah.
weird. And then it just goes back to regular music, jazz music, I guess.
No, this is the song that was used earlier in the ballroom. Midnight,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Stars, and You, which was also used in Toy Story 4 during the Second Chance Antique sequence when they meet the scary butlers. Toy Story has a love affair with this movie, it seems.
Dang.
Yeah.
What does it mean? 1921.
I'm curious how they took the picture.
With a camera.
No, like how, what did he tell everyone here to do for the picture or something? Or was it just straight up Photoshop somehow?
Well,
I think they just
Did
took
they
a
have it?
picture.
Yeah, I don't think you could do Photoshop at that point. I would have. I assume this must have been either the beginning at the very end, where of course because this Nicholson would have had to have been shaved and then his hair cut, you know. So
Yeah, probably at the very end they took the picture, or maybe I would say the very end.
Yeah, I think so. Or I don't know.
well,
We did it.
I think this. Yeah, we did it. This comes. There's a lot more to say. And that's why we're doing an audio commentary with Dr. Sleep when it comes to the characters and where they go next. Yeah, there's really not much else to say about the Shining. It is just so. I think this everlasting testament to what an amazing filmmaker Kubrick was. That this film still provides new experiences every time you see it. You're still asking yourself either the same questions but you have different answers to them, or you're asking all new questions. I'm sure in the everlasting words of Martin Scorsese, this is cinema. Even though it is a horror film and they don't exist, apparently, if you ask all of the elites in this industry. But hey, one thing before we go, we're almost gonna wrap it up. But this is also one of those movies whose legacy has kind of evolved, and it hasn't really endured from like its original release because it was critically received in a negative way when this movie came out, right? No, it was. Yeah, it's one of those movies where the critics were not too kind to it, and then it got notoriety.
Well, we saw what they did with Batman v Superman, so we know the critics don't know shit.
God, I think I almost prefer Kyle's puns at this point, Peter. You really do exhaust me. Yeah, so it was one of those, and it is a classic film in every sense, and a classic film in the horror history. Any last words, guys? Any last words?
Holy shit! What are you gonna do next? Yeah, no, it's obviously an amazing film, timeless classic. I certainly love it. There's so much to delve into. Like I said, if that book exists, I will read it. Because there's, even in this viewing, there was things where I'm like, wait, now I'm kind of interested to see. I never noticed this before, and I want to see what Kubrick was really intending with this. So no, this is the film that keeps on giving, and it makes sense why people to this day are obsessed with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
There we go.
I like it a lot.
Thank you all for listening so much. We'll be right back with the commentary for Dr. Sleep, as well as the season review for the Haunting of Bly Manor, and then come back here on November 3rd for the Haunting of America. It's a limited series. We'll see if it lasts one day or a couple of weeks or the rest of our lives. That's the real mystery. As always, you can catch our podcasts every single Sunday, sometimes on Thursdays. Keep us here under the spotlight. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.